I think we all knew this was coming, right? You can't do Armada without obviously getting in there and doing some straight repaints under the guise of a power-up. I love a canonical recoloring upgrade. Plus we got this little guy. So what's not to love? Well, the price point, right? The price point is a not particularly lovable feature of this release. But enough about that, let's take a look at this guy, shall we? Oh. He looks bait. He looks real bait.
We're gonna need another Timmy!
You know what we need? We need some Minicon power. Firstly, can I just start by saying, I don't particularly like this figure. That's why I didn't bother, you know, reviewing his predominantly yellow and red Ronald McDonald self. And so changing hat and jeans shouldn't make any difference, but somehow it did. I like this more. Maybe just conceptually, because, you know, the whole Armada, like, power on thing. So whilst it may work for me conceptually, it still doesn't really work for me in actuality, right? The deco's cooler. I like the gloss paint job to some of his parts. His visor got lamer. That wasn't a long trip. He just is one of those figures that just doesn't feel right. I think there was like a Thrilling 30 or an early Generations one that I somehow didn't end up managing to get, and my original hotshot, in a moment of sentimentality, I gave it to my godson, and I don't know, maybe he appreciated it for a hot minute, but I doubt, you know, it's a treasured possession or memory. I wonder if I can get it back. Anyway, big backpack, crazy calves, don't really tab in any kind of satisfying way. They're in the way every time you try and move him. He can't really bend his legs because of these giant windscreens on the back. Just do anything else with them. Why are they on this bloody big peg, right? Have that fold down lower. Tuck it away, right? We can do that nowadays. Just tuck it away. Because he's meant to be like the, you know, composite Bumblebee hot rod character all the kids love.
No. He was supposed to have attitude.
What do you mean exactly?
Oh, you know, attitude. The sunglasses.
Can we put him in more of a hip-hop context?
Forget context. He's got to be a surfer. Give me a nice schmear of surfer.
I feel we should Rastify him by 10% or so. Oh, yeah. Bingo. There it is, right there. That's it.
I love it.
He's just no good. You move the arms, you untab those. The arms feel weird. The wrist is long and doesn't twist. There's no articulation there. I do like his cool punching gloves, right? Punching's cool. And he just doesn't want to stay tabbed together. He might look the part on the shelf, but he just feels so much like a relic of a bygone era. So I think we can all agree the only reason anyone is actually picking this up is because the lure of his accessories is just too big to pass up. With the primary one, of course, being Jolt. That's some good rotor action. Look at that. Oh, it's even doing that cool, not quite fast enough spin thing. I love that. Right there. Where it looks like it's not moving and going backwards. Spinning is sick.
Get to the chopper!
Bungie is a little helicopter.
He also has, you know, in lieu of the ports being on the Minicons and the pegs being on the figures, it is in fact flipped in this modern day and age. There, he's kind of, if you put it like that, it's not terrible, right? It's kind of like a rotor shield. He's obviously supposed to, you know, Powerlinx onto the gun. The best that you're going to get out of this guy in terms of traditional Powerlinx action is to stick him in the back like that, and then he can fly. Ooh, like a Mario power-up or something. But in terms of like a Minicon figure, he's actually really good. He feels really good quality, he's super posable, easy and intuitive to transform, and he looks the business. Articulated elbows that go a full 90, ball-jointed shoulders, ball-jointed hips. From transformation, super deep bend to those legs. He's more posable almost than some figures like twice his size. Not as many points of articulation, but like the freedom of movement that Jolt has is just phenomenal. How good's the little guy look? What's also really quite impressive is the fact that he's got a silver faceplate then with blue eyes picked out inside it. That's some crazy ass attention to detail. And look at all the sculpt, all those inlays. Somehow this is what this set is worth. But they didn't just stop there. So he obviously still comes with his hood gun, which I still maintain could have been so much cooler if you were able to split it in half. Like how cheeky that wasn't 2 guns. Ugh, so much better. It would have really helped with his like whole I wish I was hot rod hero worship deal. You also get a couple of guns that you sort of saw him use in one episode once.
He's all geared up to head right through the Decepticon front lines.
What? Don't worry, I can do it. Let's do this, hotshot.
Shooter found in B block. All units report to B block.
Wins. Fatality.
The pegs on them are pretty extreme. They are difficult to get into his hands, but they're 2 different pretty cool guns. Why the handles are orange? I don't know. But doesn't that just seem like the sort of thing that Hot Rod would actually do? Stupid shoulder pauldron things. But you know, extra weapons are cool. They really ought to just do like a Generations like weapon pack. I would be wholeheartedly on board with that. And then as a, you know, extra garnish on this set, you also get this particular one. I don't remember who rocked this blast set first at all, but you get 2 of them, and you know, who doesn't love blast effects? Admittedly, these ones are always, you know, doing some James McAvoy style bullet bending, but blast effects are always a welcome addition. But like, come on, is that not a lot of fun? Personally, I love the little guy going ham like this. Zap! There's so much shooty bang bang fun to be had.
You know what I call that? The bullet tornado. Sprinkler, yep, bullet tornado.
What was yours? I didn't hear.
Same as you, bullet tornado. The important thing is we don't have to talk about it anymore because we both have the same excellent name.
Ah!
By way of some other Armada offerings, here he is alongside Optimus. They do look very tidy together, don't they? And here he is going ham on some Deceptidorks.
How many people want to kick some ass?
Stab. And then lastly, for a final comparison, let's have a look at him against the original. It's kind of like Rambo First Blood Part 1 versus Rambo First Blood Part 2. You know what I mean? This guy's all, hey, how we doing? I'm so excited to be on Earth. And then this guy by comparison is all,
They drew first blood!
I know this guy's more expensive, but with the extra accessories and playability, I really do think somehow, despite the inflated price point, he's ended up being worth it. So the transformation on this guy is clever, but a little bit fiddly and arguably not worth the effort. Make sure that you twist this around with the grooves there, because it's going to need the grooves. Untab the whole sheboygan. Open chest, head away, close that up, fold that in. Wheels in, spoiler down. I do quite like this. Fold it up, fold it out. Waist twist. Twist the windows. Collapse the leg. The only annoying thing is these are slot tabs. I hate that. It makes your approach so much more specific. Before you try and fit it all together, don't forget to pull these little space fillers out. And then I must admit, I am always a little bit of a fan when part of the transformation is closing the car doors. And then I find the look really isn't finished until you put that like engine block blaster bit in there. All black this time. The back wheels don't roll great with the, you know, clearance issues here. So weird. So weird. But he's small and light, so it doesn't super matter. You can also take those weapons from before. And create an awesome looking twisted metal-esque Death Race 2000 Mad Maxian kind of gun car. What's also great in this mode is you can actually now get Jolt. You have to kind of mistransform him a little bit to get him to actually live there. But that is not the end of the world. to finally be able to do this. And just by way of a quick comparison, here he is alongside his initial non-powered version. If you're the sort of person who watches these videos, there's a good chance that you're the sort of person who's so locked in already that the fact that this is a canonical repaint, comes with extra accessories and has his Minicon like Primus always intended, there's a good chance you're going to pick it up. And if you do, you won't be disappointed. If you haven't got Hotshot yet, this is definitely the way to get him, right? Why would you not want the more powerful, heavily armored version for, you know, your legacy SmackDown? Put it this way, I couldn't be bothered reviewing regular Hotshot, but I couldn't wait to review this Hotshot. So what do you think? Are you going to get him? Have you somehow managed to get him already? I was so lucky that he came out early at Australian retail. Every now and then it happens. Thank you so much for watching. If you had fun, do those things. Click the clicks, like the likes, all that jazz. And then hit me up in the comments. I want to know what do you think. Alright? Let's get nerdy with it. Catch.